Welcome back, people of the YouTube world. Today I'm gonna do a short little video, probably make a little YouTube short because they seem to do really well right now. Do this real quick and just show you. I didn't film everything because honestly there's tons of videos out there on how to remove a small block 302 engine out of all kinds of stuff, trucks, cars, vans. So I didn't film that, but I have pulled the engine out of my Project Phoenix, my 90 GT convertible Mustang Fox body. I pulled the engine out of there. Car has 189,000 miles on it. The engine runs, or it ran 15 years ago when I last drove it. It did run, didn't run bad. So here it is, all in its all dirty glory. Zoom out a little bit. So here it is. EFI 302. Just really pulled it out of the car. It's grimy, it's dirty. It's got 198,000 miles on it. This is something a lot of people argue about, but in 1990, I don't know when they started it, but this is an anniversary edition car. This is the 25th anniversary edition. They made a certain amount of them. It does have the horse on the dash that commemorates it as a 25th anniversary edition one. But these had a little bit more horsepower than the previous years. They had factory headers. This is a factory header. This came from the factory this way. Other things that are like these louvers on the tail lights. This is factory. And just other little things. Other little things about the car. So this has 225 horsepower, but it puts out like 300 pound-feet of torque. If I remember that right. So not a lot of horsepower, but a lot of torque. It's push rod, small block, 302. So the next few times you see videos or shorts from this channel, it's going to be on taking this apart. I'm going to see what I can do about deleting this AIR pump setup. I don't know if that will kill the car, but here's where it injects air into the cylinders. This was rotted out and actually, God damn it. So here's where it injects air into the cylinders or into the heads. I'm going to see what I can do about deleting that. This has actually been rotted out for a long time and it wasn't even working. So I'm just going to see what I can do about deleting this when I go to put the car back together, because this is actually in the fucking way. A couple of transmission bolts, and it's just not necessary. A GT40 upper and lower intake for this. I scored them relatively cheap off of Facebook. They are the non-EGR version, so I'm going to have to figure out that. But GT40 heads are almost impossible to find now unless you want to buy them new, or you want to pay, I think $1,400 for two heads. GT40P heads are easier to find, but again, for a set of them, they want $700. You don't really get that much more horsepower switching to the upper and lower and the heads. You really don't. You get a bump to maybe 235, 240 horsepower from putting on GT40 heads, upper and lower intake. You do get a bit more torque, which can make the car seem funner to drive. Everybody talks horsepower, but really torque is the number you really want to focus on when you're talking about just the seat of your pants feel. Horsepower is more for the upper RPM range. Torque is more for the lower RPM range. So for a street car, torque is what really matters, not horsepower, but everybody talks horsepower. So it would bump the engine up to 93 Cobra standards, pretty much. But there's things you got to do. There's modifications you got to do to the upper and lower intake. There's modifications you got to do to the heads. And back when you could go to the junkyard and get this stuff off of some Explorers or Mountaineers or something like that, it was a viable option, and it was pretty economical because you could get a set of heads from the junkyard for like $200. You could get an upper and lower intake for like $100. So for like $300, you could really like increase the horsepower of your little 302 substantially. But nowadays, people just are ridiculous. They want to charge an arm and a leg for everything. They think everything is, because it's, because it's older, everything's worth $1 billion. And it's not worth it, really. It would just substantially increase the time it's going to take me to rebuild this engine, and it will substantially increase the cost. And I'm already, this particular one, the shock tower up there on the driver's side, common thing, is rusted out. So is the frame, common thing on all of these. I already put a floor pan in. There's some rust here on the wheel well that I have to fix. And the trunk lid leaks because it's rusted out around the light on the luggage rack right here. So the trunk pan is gone. I'm going to have to buy that and patch that. I'm going to have to get a trunk lid. I still need to get a top, all the weather stripping and moldings around the top. I have a complete interior. I finally got all that done except for sun visors and carpet. I'm going to buy those from LMR. And then I'm trying to decide whether I want to replace this core support, because my dad did wreck this car right here in the front. This side of the core support is damaged and bent. This frame rail is damaged and bent. A body shop did attempt to fix it. It works good enough, but like it's bent up down there where someone jacked it up from there. The core support itself is just garbage. So trying to decide whether I want to replace this while I'm doing the strut tower, but there's more rust. The quarter panel down there, as you can see, the rocker panel is cut out. I've got to fix that right there. Also, the car's just been neglected and sitting around for a long time. Saw a lot of winters, a lot of road salt. So I'm trying to keep this budgetly economical for myself, and also the time frame, because the more stuff I have to buy, the longer this is going to take. And my dad's not in the best of health. He's getting older. And I like to get this done so he can enjoy it for at least for a few years. I had my other projects, like you can watch the Snowbird playlist. That's me rebuilding the modular V8 in my Cobra. I'm now, if you stick around for that, because I'm in the process of learning to tune cars now. I've purchased my Motes quarter horse, so I can use that to tune the car, because no shop around me will tune my car. So I'm having to learn how to do it so I can do it myself. So I've acquired my Motes quarter horse, which is a chip that you need to communicate with the 96 to 98 Cobras. Also, they're great for communicating with the Fox body computers. So basically, ECC 4 and 5, you need what my research is, you don't need it, but the best thing to program those cars with is a Motes quarter horse. So I'm starting to learn how to do that. I will document my, journey doing that. So stick around for that if you want to. But yeah, that's just a little update. I'm going to be rebuilding this. I am going to take a full video of tearing this down. We'll get into seeing what might be some problems that weren't showing up. And just getting inside it and seeing what's good, what's not. Fun fact about these do have forged aluminum pistons. They don't have forged rods, and I don't think they have a forged crank. There were some years there Ford was doing some weird stuff, like some cars had forged cranks and forged pistons but not forged rods. Some cars had forged cranks and no forged pistons or rods. Some of them had forged pistons, but no forged rods or cranks. Like just some weird stuff. But this does have forged aluminum pistons, so I should be able to reuse those. Unless there's something with the crank, problem with the crank, I'm not replacing it. Unless there's a problem with the rods, I'm not replacing them. This is going to be a total tear down, clean it, hone it, unless there's a problem with the cylinders, and put it back together with a seal kit and, some new injectors, some odds and ends like that, some new sensors, some new injectors, but mainly tearing it down and just putting some bearings, rod bearings, main bearings, new rings and new rings, honing it, and putting a new seal kit on it, and then putting it back together and putting it back in the car. That's mainly what this is going to be. This is not going to be how to soup up your 302. This is not going to be anything like that. I was wanting to go that route, but it would significantly increase the amount of time it's going to take me to start rebuilding this engine. Mainly, it's trying to save up the $700 to $1,200 it would take to get a good set of heads to go with those, to go with that manifold. When this car comes back to me after my father passes away, I might do that. Hopefully, that's a good 10 or 15 years, maybe 20 years from now. And in 20 years, maybe I'll do that, and it'll be something even cooler, and who knows what platform we'll be using at that point. But so that's the plan. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.